It's a great the ceremony. So we'll be very happy to do that for you. Before we begin, I'd like to thank our organist, Mrs. Joan Ellis, for playing for us this evening. Does a great job for us every year. Thank you, Joan. And I'd like to acknowledge I'd also like to acknowledge the members of the Board of Education who are present with us this evening. The President of the Board of Education on stage, Mr. Richard Cutter. The Vice President of the Board, Mr. Douglas Strang. Mrs. Harriet Worthington. Mr. Larry Ditzel. And Mr. Mark Amadon. And we thank them for their continued support. In a few minutes, the graduates will be entering the auditorium. When they do, please stand and remain standing for the pledge and the benediction. At this time, I call upon the Treasurer of the Class of 1997, Bob Tuttle, to lead us in the pledge to the flag.
Ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, for to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We hit it around the corner on him, so he didn't. The Secretary of the Class of 1997, Sarah Daniel, will recite the benediction.
Good evening. I would just like to recognize this moment in a moment of silence, if you would all bow your heads, to recognize the people, the teachers, our parents, all the wonderful people who have made this moment for us possible right now. Thank you.
You may be seated. The senior ensemble, under the direction of Mrs. Susan McAvoy, will now sing the Alma Mater. I now call upon Rebecca Braun, the Vice President of the Class of 1997, for her welcome and reflections.
Welcome, parents, families, and friends of graduates. I'd like to take a moment to thank all of the parents this evening because without them, we would not be here. For the past 4 years, I've had the pleasure of being the vice president of the class, and that has enabled me to see and learn a lot about this group of people. Most of the people up here on this stage have gone to school together for the past 13 years. We've grown together, laughed together, and even cried together. And because of one another, we've succeeded together. Many of us have our own memories, whether it be the field trips to the Buffalo Zoo, the Whale Watch, Bison's games, Washington, D.C., and our trip to Canada's Wonderland, or even some of our special events, from the first day of kindergarten to the first day of high school in 7th grade, or the semi-formal in 9th grade, and the junior and this year's senior prom. But all of us will take memories from today. This is the day that we have been looking forward to since probably the first day of 7th grade. And now that it's here, most of us wouldn't mind a few extra days to say our last goodbyes to friends and teachers. It almost seems as if we spent the last 13 years getting to know one another, and this year, when we finally feel we know everything and have become more comfortable with each other, it's time to leave and start all over. I know that we all have made our own friends since school started, and we've made our own memories, and that is what no one can take from you. There are people who will come into your life and mean so much that you hope they'll always be there. And for me, those people are my parents because there's no one I love more. And because there are people that are important in everyone's life, I think that this poem that was given to me by a good friend is meaningful to everyone. It's entitled, Some People. Some people come into our lives and quickly go. Some people move our souls to dance. They waken us to understanding with the passing whisper of their wisdom. Some people make the sky more beautiful to gaze upon. They stay in our lives for a while, leave footprints on our hearts, and we are never, ever the same. Once again, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to all the parents for your patience and loving ways. Because of you, we obtain our goals. To Ms. Sukdalak, thank you for a great 4 years. Yourself, along with the rest of the staff who stuck with us, are the best, and we appreciate everything. And of course, to my fellow classmates and friends, I thank you for the greatest 13 years of my life and a terrific senior year. I wish you all the luck in the future. Thank you.
I'm very pleased at this time to present our guest speaker who will address the graduates, the Honorable Glenn R. Morton.
Thank you now, Principal D'Angelo and Superintendent Wise, to the class of 97, the officers, family, and friends. As I was sitting here watching everything, I started to think what the meaning of success was. And I really went back, into my life, and I thought, gee, really, when I first became a judge, I was successful. Well, that lasted until I heard the legal joke that was going around about that time when they wanted to know what you called a lawyer with an IQ of 52. And of course, the answer is, Your Honor. But as the story tells, and as we learn from all lessons in life, that really no matter how successful, how important you are, there's always somebody, something, who's ready to give you a dose of reality and sort of bring you down to level. And I think it's very generally accepted that it really pays as we go through life to be humble and to be courteous to other people. But tonight is not a night to be humble. And I think tonight is a night that we deserve to boast and to savor the achievements that we've reached. I think congratulations tonight should first go to the faculty and the administrative staff at Pembroke. I know it's no easy task, no mean feat to get 71 seniors ready for this point in their life. And I'm sure that all the faculty and staff here at Pembroke has a deep feeling of professional satisfaction in this class. I think congratulations are also due to the parents and to the relatives and friends of the seniors here tonight. Not only have you provided the raw material, as we say, but the teachers certainly couldn't do it alone, and your continuing support has been critical. And I think that I'm sure as you sit there tonight, when you've seen young children develop into mature and responsible adults, you have a great deal of personal pride. But I think more important, congratulations tonight should go out to the students, the seniors themselves. I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that you've worked hard, you've earned your diploma, you deserve to be proud and to think good of yourself. And I think that's something you should be very grateful for. But like everything else that happens, it always changes. And when the celebration ends and the festivities go by, I'm sure in a day, a week or so from now, every one of you is going to realize that this is quite a milestone in your life. It's one of those important things that happens to you where your life changes forever. Your life's never going to be the same. You're going to be faced now constantly on a daily basis with making decisions, challenges, what to do with your talent, how to conduct your everyday lives. I don't think that there's anyone in this room that doesn't feel that you are going to make the right decisions and you are going to be a success. But perhaps, you would indulge me if I could just share with you 3 thoughts that might just help you as you go through life from this point on. And I mean thoughts, I don't mean advice, because I don't know of any quicker way to tune out younger people than to have someone older preach to them. And I always think of Socrates. He was a great Greek philosopher who went around giving good advice. The only problem is he got poisoned as a result of it, and I really don't want to share his fate. But the 3 thoughts that I'd like to share with you And one is never give up learning. You'll find as we go on that, 100 years ago, it would probably take 200 or 300 years to double the amount of knowledge that we had at a given time. Nowadays, we double the knowledge in years and in months. And you just simply have to keep current if you're going to make something of your life, and you're going to be able to be flexible to go along with changing times. So I really hope that as you go out, you're never going to give up this thirst to learn and to keep current. That's the one thing that's going to keep you competitive. The second thought I'd like to express to you is never be afraid to take a risk. I tell you that this great nation of ours was founded by risk takers and has been able to progress by people who are willing to take these calculated risks and to keep from moving on. And that's something, that you have to remember. And so I tell you, if it feels right to you, if you're prepared, don't listen to naysayers, listen to your inner feelings, and go for it. The third thought, that I think is probably the most important, and that is whatever you do it right. I think the biggest problem that I see as an individual is that the level of integrity in this country is declining at all stations in life. I mean, from everyday citizens to our national leaders. It's a very difficult thing. It seems that we're drifting towards an amoral society where people are more concerned with technical advances and expediency than they are with truth. And that is a very sad sign. It's the story that they once told about a president of a large corporation who was out looking for a person who had a fine arts degree to be on their board of directors. And when he was questioned as to why they wanted somebody with a fine arts degree, he had to admit that they needed somebody who knew the difference between right and wrong. And that's really a sad commentary on our life. So as you go on, I encourage you, as you live your dream, to do it with integrity and pride. I tell you, if you follow your principles, you'll never regret it. Now, these aren't the only thoughts that anybody can tell you as to what you should do and how you should lead your life. But I will tell you, if you follow those three thoughts, I am guaranteed to you, you will know at the end what the meaning of success is. So I really want to congratulate the students this evening. I want to thank you for having me here. It was a great privilege on my part to be able to address you. I wish each and every one of you not only personal success, but health and happiness the rest of your lives. Thank you very much.
At this time, the class salutatorian, Jason Hepner, will address the graduates.
Hot in here. Well, I'll keep it short, I promise. Good evening. These are the best years of our lives. This is what we've been told by our parents and teachers ever since that first day at kindergarten back in the fall of '84. Now that our school careers are almost over, we begin to see how good we really had it. We simply showed up to school every day and did what was asked of us, well, for the most part anyway. And now that ties are being cut, we'll be venturing out into the real world and we'll be expected to make something out of ourselves. Ooh. Back in the primary school, we had the luxury of having our teachers make all of our decisions and look out for us every minute of the school day. Then it seemed like having a third parent that took care of us during the morning and the afternoon. We made friends for the first time here, and we also learned how to socialize and get along with one another through working and playing together. And there was a lot more playing than work. As we moved through the low grades and on into the intermediate school, we soon found out that there was a bit more to school. We actually had some material to study and assignments to be responsible for. Our teachers did not baby us quite so much as before. Also, new friends came and old friends went in some cases, as we learned that there would be room for many different people in our lives. We were introduced to some sports and music here, and also there were some opportunities to excel in some things that we were good at. We also learned of our weaknesses and how to correct them. Some of us were challenged by subjects presented to us and others not. Just as soon as we felt secure in that environment, we were kicked out once again and forced to migrate to the ever-dreaded high school. But before that, as sixth graders, we took our first major trip together as a class to Boston for the whale watch. Now, this was the first time we ever did anything major as a whole class. We were given the opportunity to get to know those familiar faces in other classes a little bit better. Up here at the high school, stereotyping and rumors gave most of us a fear of moving up. This was definitely unfamiliar territory, with a building full of new faces and new challenges awaiting. Most of us feared getting beat up or stuffed in a locker, and really didn't want to move up. But they made us go anyhow. We were now little 7th graders. We had the responsibility of changing classrooms and remembering materials for all those different teachers. We had to remember that we no longer were required to walk the halls in line and be quiet all the time. The hall pass made its debut in junior high, along with actually earning a number grade for gym. We were also introduced to OBE and were informed that we were now required to pass with an 80. We also got used to having more than one chance to get things right. The high school introduced many new activities besides the academic portions. We had sports, music, art, clubs, and dances. It was now acceptable to be friends with older people that we met and that would put up with us. For many of us, we had some place to be every night of the week. This was a big change for a lot of us in such a short period of time. As 8th graders, we learned about our nation's government, and Mr. Kinnell took us to Washington for a weekend that moved so fast and that I'm sure none of us will ever forget. Our next major milestone was actually beginning high school. 9th grade was the beginning of the final stretch on school's long road. As freshmen, we now started taking classes that would complete required sequences for our intended high school majors. We started making more friends outside of our grade, both older and younger, and extracurricular activities became a big part of life. The semi-formal dance was now upcoming and long awaited by many of us. Also, the Regents exam became a new routine after this year. As we moved through the grades, much more was expected of us as time went on. We now had deadlines to meet and more difficult subjects to contend with. We had teachers that didn't find it necessary to hunt us down when we had missing work. We were left to sink or swim in many cases, and fortunately, most of us swam. As we entered this long-awaited senior year, many of us had expectations from previous classes and also some preconceived ideas. We found out that things wouldn't be quite so easy this year. OBE was a thing of the past now, and we were forced to do it right the first time or suffer. Many of us had a hard time with that. However, on the whole, we adapted and managed to do what was expected of us. Also, the Senior Honor Pass made its debut with intent to replace the long-awaited Senior Lounge. As this year comes to a screeching halt, so do our career as high school students. The doors are now opening and the ropes are being cut. We will now be forced to use what we've learned and remember the good times as we continue with our lives. Even though many of us will travel in separate paths, the memories here from day one will always be with us and will be crucial to the decisions and the actions that will dictate our future as people in the real world. Personally, I'd like to thank the staff here at Pembroke and the students for making the past 13 years of school worthwhile and memorable. Good luck to all of you. Thank you.
At this time, the Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Price, will address the graduates.
Thank you very much, and congratulations to everybody. Everybody that's here ought to be congratulated. Once again, you've reached this time of celebration and success and hope, and I hope I'm not picking up on any of Judge Morton's speech in terms of success. I'm going to do a little twist on that, though. Today we're celebrating success. Today's ceremony really reflects what you have done, and it can be represented in a formula, a mathematical formula. S equals W plus F. Success equals work plus failure. Failure? We don't talk much about failure, do we? Failure is a negative word. We're afraid to admit failure. We really get defensive if people accuse us of failure. We don't even talk about it unless somebody else brings it up. Sometimes people actually go out of their way to cover up failure. So how can I say that success equals work plus failure? Well, we live in a kind of a sports culture, so I'm going to start out with my sports metaphor. There's an ad on TV, or it's been running on TV, maybe you've seen it, about Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan says he lost 400 games in his career and 28 of them when the game was on the line. He goes on to say that he has failed over and over and over again, and that's what makes him a success. He keeps on trying. Failure doesn't get in the way. Here's an example from history. Here are some events in the life of a story of a man that you've all heard about. This guy, at age 22, failed in his first business. He ran for the legislature at age 23 and was defeated. At the age 24, he had another business failure. He was elected to the legislature at age 25, but at age 26, his sweetheart died. At age 27, he had a nervous breakdown. At age 29, he was defeated for Speaker of the House. At age 31, he was defeated as an elector. At age 34, he was defeated for Congress. At age 37, he actually was elected to Congress. And then at age 39, he was defeated in Congress again. He was defeated in the Senate at age 46. At age 47, he was defeated for vice president. He was defeated for the Senate at age 49. But at age 51, indeed, he was elected president of the United States. That was Abraham Lincoln. What does that tell you about failure and success? I think it tells you a lot. Here's another example from history. In 1848, not 1948, but 1848, past Rochester and towards Syracuse in the little town called Seneca Falls. Many of you know where Seneca Falls is. A number of women met in a church one night to protest, among other things, that they should have the right to vote. Those ladies and those that followed them traveled all over the country speaking to groups of people about how voting should be given to women as well as men. They were pushed around, they were spat upon, they were ridiculed in public, thrown in jail for just even speaking about the topic. There were lots and lots and lots of failures. In fact, they failed for 72 years. They were successful in 1920. So another example from history of where failure leads to success. Now, nobody in his right mind sets out to fail. None of us do. It just happens. And we have to be prepared for it. But some people, they quit working, they quit studying, they quit going to school, they quit jobs, they quit all kinds of things when they fail. And guess what? Those people deny themselves an opportunity to succeed just by quitting. If they just learn from that failure and keep working, they would succeed. Now, some successes take longer than others. Some of you will have more failures than others, but you can succeed if you're just prepared for the failures and learn from them. There's always another road for success tomorrow. Maybe that's what Soichiro Honda, founder of Honda Motors, meant when he said, and I quote, "Success is 99% failure." Again, success equals work plus failure. In conclusion, I just want to share one more quote from, of all people, Dolly Parton. Now see, you're laughing. You can make jokes about Dolly Parton, and everybody does, but she's been hugely successful in her life. And she said, "The way I see it, if you want the rainbow, you got to put up with the rain." Well, I hope you find your rainbows. And if you get rained on along the way, take your umbrella, will you? Congratulations.
At this time, I'm pleased to present the President of the Board of Education, Mr. Richard Cutter, who will address the graduates.
On behalf of the Board of Education and myself, I would like to extend our most sincere congratulations to you on your successful completion of studies over the past 12 years here at Pembroke Central School. I know that you will have many memories, hopefully most of them good, of your growing up in this school district. A speaker at a commencement exercise is supposed to give a piece of sage advice to the departing students. Mine will be short and to the point. There are three very important words to remember: goals, determination, and choices. Most of us have goals for our next phase in life. What you need to remember to achieve these goals is to have a positive attitude so that you can reach your goals. Will it to happen, and it will happen. Remember, will it to happen, and it will happen. Of course, that doesn't work for the lottery. Determination to succeed is a very important ingredient. The last is just as important as first. Every day you make choices. The news media is filled with news of people who have made choices, most of them wrong. Remember, bad choices produce consequences that derail goals and erode determination to succeed. And I guess one example is that we've probably all read in the paper about 3 young people in Florida that made some choices of going out and removing stop signs. And then shortly thereafter, some young people came through the intersection and they were killed. That was choices which led to a bad situation. And I think if you always think of what are the consequences of my choices, you can't go wrong. With this in mind, the board wishes you the very best in whatever venture you embark upon in the future. Thank you.
Mr. Cutter, Mr. Price, at this time, I'm pleased to present the class of 1997 to you, and I certify that they have satisfied all degree requirements as required by the State Education Department of New York State. You have to give them. Bridget Marie O'Connor. Bridget is the class valedictorian. She's the recipient of the Marine Corps Scholastic Excellence Award, Roland A. Carney Teachers Federation Memorial Scholarship, Student Council Award, Kara Jane Cummings Memorial Scholarship, One of a Kind Award, National Honor Society. She's an honor graduate, and her future plans include attending Geneseo College to obtain dual certification in special and elementary education. Jason Lee Hepner. Jason is the class salutatorian. He is the recipient of the Corfu Rebecca Lodge Human Service Award, the DARE Recognition Award, the Principals Award, the Marine Corps Semper Fidelis Award, the Bosch and Lum Award, the Roland A. Carney Teachers Federation Memorial Scholarship, the American History Award, member of the National Honor Society, and is an honor graduate. His future plans include attending GCC in the 2+2 program to Buff State in the field of broadcasting and communication. Carrie Lynn Reisdorf. Carrie is the recipient of the Marine Corps Certificate recognizing distinguished athletes, the Genesee Region Scholar Athlete, Pembroke Youth Athletics Scholarship recipient, Outstanding Senior, Junior Miss Representative from Pembroke, Social Studies Award winner, National Honor Society member. She's an honor graduate. Her future plans include graduating from GCC in May of 1998 and then attending a 4-year business school. Jasper Martin Robert Reitmeyer. Jasper is our foreign exchange student. He's the recipient of the Foreign Exchange Student Award. He's an honor graduate. His plans after graduation include returning to the Netherlands and will be attending a college in Amsterdam majoring in banking and insurance. Allison Salvatrice Marble. Allison is an honor graduate. Her future plans include attending college to receive a bachelor's degree in business. Nancy Jean Smith. Nancy is a recipient of the Roland A. Kearney Teachers Federation Scholarship, Performing Arts Scholarship, Images and Dance. She's a member of the National Honor Society and an honor graduate. Her plans include attending GCC for her associate's degree and then to Houghton College, majoring in business and communication. Michelle Ann Lenhart. Michelle is the recipient of the Vernon Rupert Memorial Scholarship, Winterguard Award. She's a member of the National Honor Society, honor graduate. Her plans include attending GCC for 2 years and transferring to Buffalo State to major in social work. Anthony Donald Solly. Anthony is the recipient of the U.S. Air Force Math and Science Award, Key Club Award, Corfu Darien Pembroke Kiwanis Award. He's a member of the National Honor Society. He's an honor graduate, and his future plans include attending St. Bonaventure University, majoring in environmental science. Renee Lynn Fouth. Renee is the recipient of the 2-year GLOW Scholarship, Genesee Region Scholar Athlete Award, Student Council Award. She's a member of the National Honor Society. She's an honor graduate, and she will attend Genesee Community College to major in general studies. Teresa Lee Bauer. Teresa is also a recipient of the 2-year GLOW Scholarship, recipient of the Yearbook Award. She's a member of the National Honor Society. She's an honor graduate, and she plans to attend GCC to become a physical therapist. Lindsay Patricia Backus. Lindsay is the recipient of the Anna L. Van de Bogard Scholarship, Yearbook Award for Editor-in-Chief, Student Council Award. She's a member of the National Honor Society. She's an honor graduate, and her future plans include attending Penn State University, majoring in architectural engineering. Sarah Ann Daniel. Sarah is the recipient of the Roland A. Kearney Teachers Federation Memorial Scholarship, Outstanding Senior Award, AP English Award, Redesign Award, Senior Class Officer. She's a member of the National Honor Society and an honor graduate. She plans to attend Duville College, majoring in the Physician Assistant Program. Robert DeWitt Tuttle. Bob is also a GLOW Scholarship recipient. He's a senior class officer, member of the National Honor Society. His future plans include attending GCC in a science-related field and then transferring to RIT. Rebecca Suzanne Braun. Rebecca is the recipient of the Ed Arnold Scrap Processors Family Award. She's a senior class officer. Her future plans include attending Concordia College in Bronxville, New York, majoring in English. Kellyanne Bodecker. Kelly is the senior class president and is undecided as to her future plans at this time. That's Jason Robert Korzak. He's an honor graduate. His future plans include attending GCC for 2 years and then transferring to Ohio State for a degree in civil engineering. Mark Paul Wagner, Jr. Mark is the recipient of the Key Club Award, Yearbook Award. He's an honor graduate. Future plans include attending Clarkson University, majoring in engineering and management. Larry Eugene Sumeriski II is an honor graduate, plans to enter the workforce after graduation. Robert Vincent Bertigs. Bob is a recipient of the Shepard, Maxwell, and Hale Driver Education Award. He's an honor graduate. His future plans include attending Alfred State College, majoring in computer art and design. Bob would also like to thank his mother for supporting him throughout the years. Cassandra Lee Gillette. Cassandra's future plans include further education in the child care field. Brett Edward Klain. Brett is the recipient of the Corfu Area Business Association Scholarship, GCC Pembroke Scholarship in Math and Science. His future plans include attending GCC for 2 years and transferring to RIT to major in electrical engineering. Rebecca Lynn Weibel. Rebecca is the recipient of the Art Award, Shepard, Maxwell, and Hale Driver Education Award. Her future plans include attending GCC. Her major is undecided at this point. Lance Post Ross. Lance won the Attica Auto Award presented at BOCES at their awards program. His future plans include attending Alfred State University for automotive service. Melissa Ann Alexson. She's the recipient of the Pembroke GCC Scholarship. She plans to attend GCC majoring in business administration. Matthew David Abramson. Matt is the recipient of the Eric Teedy Memorial Award in football. His future plans include attending Alfred State College to pursue a career in automotive mechanics. Jody Christine Clark. Jody's future plans include attending Erie Community College, majoring in social science and liberal arts. She would like to become a history teacher. Jared Richard Darker. Jared's future plans include attending GCC for an associate's degree in computer repair technology. Dawn Marie Bossy. Dawn's future plans include attending Potsdam University to major in advertising technology. Heather Marie Abbey. Heather plans to attend GCC to major in occupational therapy. Daniel Brian Senko. Dan is an honor graduate. His future plans include attending GCC and then transferring to Niagara University for a degree in accounting. Melanie Lynn Rumble. She's an honor graduate. Melanie is also a January graduate. She plans to enter college to become a legal secretary. Scott James Kahabka. Scott is a recipient of the Corfu Grange 142 Agricultural Award. He's an honor graduate, and he plans to attend SUNY at Morrisville, majoring in aquaculture and possibly fish and wildlife. Craig Edward Wazlewski. After graduation, Craig plans to enlist in the U.S. Army. Jeffrey Allen Milam. Jeff is the recipient of the Pembroke Sports Boosters Scholarship, Ed Arnold Scrap Processors Family Award, Pembroke Youth Athletics Scholarship, Salvation Army Scholarship. His plans include attending Roberts Wesleyan College to study nursing. Sherry Marie Orr. Sherry is undecided at this time as to her future plans. John Robert Fickle. John plans to attend GCC for a degree in electronics. Rachel Ann Reese. Rachel is the recipient of the Corfu Area Business Association Scholarship Yearbook Award. She plans to attend GCC to pursue a career in education. Casey James Luttrell. Casey plans to attend GCC for criminal justice and then transfer to MCC to finish his education in criminal justice. He wishes to attend a police academy. Faith Marie Stabluski. Faith is the recipient of the GCC Pembroke Scholarship, the Winter Guard Award. She plans to attend GCC to major in theater arts. Matthew Ward Kowalski. Matt's future plans include enlisting in the Army for military policing for 4 years, and then he plans on going to the University of Alabama for criminal justice. Rhonda Lee Kapelke. Rhonda is the recipient of the Kathy Wild Auxiliary to VFW Post 9000 Yearbook Award, Pembroke Theater Arts Scholarship, Kara Jane Cummings Memorial Award, Junior Miss Representative. Her plans include attending GCC to major in accounting. Kara Elizabeth Green. Kara will attend GCC for a degree in human services. Merle J. Walton. Merle will attend GCC majoring in law. Jill Marie Marble. Jill's award includes Outstanding Senior Girl Athlete. She plans to attend GCC and then transfer to the University of Pittsburgh, majoring in physical education. James Robert Norton. Jim is the recipient of the Winter Guard Award and Redesign Award. He plans to enlist in the U.S. Air Force after graduation. Danielle Renee Blaney. Her future plans include working for a year and then attending the LPN program at BOCES, eventually becoming an RN. Robert Dean Cook. Rob's future plans include attending GCC for 2 years and then continuing his education at Brockport to study journalism. Richard Thomas Ewart. Rick's future plans include attending GCC and transferring to RIT, majoring in computer engineering and computer programming. Jennifer Michelle Slazarczyk. Jennifer is the recipient of the $1,000 Susan W. Freestone Grange Scholarship, Key Club Award, Yearbook Award. Her future plans include attending Utica College of Syracuse University, receive a master's degree in physical therapy. Justin Paul Rosenbeck. Justin's awards include Outstanding Senior Athlete, Marine Corps Certificate recognizing distinguished athletes. He will enlist in the United States Marine Corps Reserve after graduation. Dane Allen Anderson. Dane's future plans include entering the workforce and eventually would like to get his commercial driving license to drive truck. Nicolette Marie Walker. Nikki plans to attend GCC for her license to sell real estate. Michael Theodore Lazik. Mike plans to attend RIT, majoring in software engineering. Shannon Gregory Cook. Shannon has enlisted in the U.S. Army. Scholarship money will be available to him to further his education at a college of his choice when his commitment to the Army is complete. Shelley Jane McMullen. Shelley will attend GCC for a degree in nursing. Stephen Daniel Gomblewski. There you go. That's hard to follow. Steve will enter the workforce as an auto body specialist. Donald Robert Compton. Don plans to attend GCC. His major is undecided at this point. Justin Bernard Frankowiak. Justin will attend the University of Buffalo, majoring in secondary social studies education. Jared Craig Cummings. Jared plans to finish his pilot's license and then enlist in the U.S. Air Force. Richard Kenneth Washington. Richard plans to enlist in the U.S. Army Infantry. Scholarship money will be available to him upon completion of his commitment to further his education. Jessica Bernice Chittenden. Jessica is undecided at this point as to her future plans. David James Wolcott. Dave, at this point, is undecided as to his future plans. Emily Siobhan Halden. Emily plans to enter the workforce for a year and then attend Genesee Community College. Ryan Christopher Cook. Ryan is the recipient of the Corfu Grange No. 142 Award in Home Economics and Living Skills. He plans to attend the College of Pennsylvania Culinary Arts. Brian Matthew Inglesby. Brian plans to attend GCC to major in general studies. Tammy Leanne Kehoe. Tammy plans to attend GCC to also major in general studies. Stephen Richard Smelski. Steve will attend the State University at Brockport, majoring in criminal justice, and he also plans to play football at Brockport. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, the Pembroke High School class of 1997. At this time, I call upon the president of the class of 1997, Kelly Bodecker, to lead the class in the tassel ceremony. remain standing for a minute. Stand up. There's a little confusion at this part because they don't know about this part, and I do it every year, and I purposefully not tell them. At this point in time, I'd like all the parents and the grandparents to please stand. All parents, grandparents. Without your help and support, this would have never been accomplished. We thank you for your help and support, and we congratulate you on your son and daughter graduating this evening. Enough for surprises now. At this point, I call upon the class valedictorian, Bridget O'Connor, to address the graduates.
Good evening. When I first started brainstorming what to include in my speech tonight, I was at a loss for ideas. I wanted to come up with something that acted as a bond for the whole class, something that we could all relate to. I thought, and I finally came to a conclusion: Dr. Seuss. He was more predominant in our lives as children, but many of his stories we can relate to better now. I will now read excerpts from Oh, the Places You Will Go. Congratulations, today is your day. You're off to great places, you're off and away. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know, and you are the person who will decide where to go. You look up and down streets, look them over with care. About some you will say, I do not choose to go there. With your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down any not so good street. And you may not find any you'll want to go down. In that case, of course, you'll head straight out of town. You'll be on your way up, you'll be seeing great sights. You'll join the high flyers who will soar to high heights. You won't lag behind because you will have the speed. You'll pass the whole gang and soon you will take the lead. Wherever you go, you will top all the rest, except when you don't, because sometimes you won't. I'm sorry to say so, but sadly it's true. The bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you. Oh, the places you will go. There is fun to be done. There are points to be scored. There are games to be won. Fame. You'll be famous as famous can be, with the whole world watching you win on TV, except when they don't, because sometimes they won't. I'm afraid that sometimes you'll play lonely games too, games you can't win because you'll play against you. All alone, whether you like it or not, alone will be something you'll be quite a lot. But on you will go, though the weather may be foul. On you will go, though your enemies may prowl. On and on you will hike, and I know you'll hike far, and face up to problems, whatever they are. You'll get mixed up, of course, as you already know. You'll get mixed up with the many strange birds as you go. So be sure and when you step with care and great tact, and remember that life is just a great balancing act. Just never forget to be dexterous and deft, and never mix up with your right foot with your left. And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98 3/4% guaranteed. You will move mountains, so you're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so class of 1997, get on your way. I thought that the message in the story was appropriate because it deals with what lies ahead of us after tonight. Since the majority of our class has been together since kindergarten, we have all gotten to know each other quite well. You have all convinced me that I am graduating with the greatest group of people possible. Our class all has strong opinions, good morals, and just overall great personalities. We all have a pretty basic idea of what we want out of our futures. We know exactly what we want to accomplish, and I know we will all be successful in whatever we put our minds to. Be it any task, no matter how big nor small, it is possible. I feel that an individual's personality provides an insight to their future. Judging by the character of our class, we are headed for great things. We have already accomplished such a great deal as a group. Euripides, the philosopher, stated as early as 406 BC that he who neglects learning in his youth loses the past and is dead for the future. The future is really nothing but a mystery that lies ahead of us. Today signifies that we are all ready for the challenges yet to come. Many of our teachers have prepared us this year for the real world. It brought some of us to the realization that our journey together as a class is really coming to an end. We have had so many memorable experiences with our classmates. We will take those with us into the next segment of our lives and cherish them forever. Some things will never be forgotten, especially something as irreplaceable as friendship. So many people have contributed to our class throughout the years. I would like to firstly thank Gretchen Suktalak. She has served as our class advisor since 9th grade and done an excellent job. She has helped us with everything possible. I can never thank all the teachers and staff throughout the school enough for all they do. I would like to congratulate you on all being so wonderful. I would also like to thank all my friends. You guys are the absolute best friends that anybody could ever ask for. Thanks for making all these years the best of my life. I know we're all going our separate ways. We all always be connected in some way. I cannot say goodbye to you all, so I won't, because this isn't the end. Lastly, I'd like to thank my parents, David and Mary Helen O'Connor. Thank you for always being so supportive, caring, and wonderful. I could have never done it without you. Since kindergarten, you've always been there for me. I would like to take this moment to wish the class of 1997 the best of luck in your futures, and I'll miss you all.
Now for the posting of the class colors, Sarah Daniel and Bob Tuttle for the class of 1997, and Cindy Bells and Carla Conti for the class of 1998. And now for our last musical selection, I'd like to introduce Nancy Smith and Rhonda Kapelke, who will sing the song Leave You With a Smile.
Before Rhonda and I sing, I would like to take this opportunity to dedicate this poem to my teachers who have taught me all throughout the years here at Pembroke Central School. Teacher, yet a friend. You have taught me many things throughout the years. You make me look at life differently and see how I can make the world better. I am very thankful to know you by being able to learn from you as a teacher, but also a friend. I was so lucky to know you and want every student to learn as much or even more from knowing you like I did. I know I will always use your suggestions and never forget the words of advice you have given to me so very often. I do thank the one above for allowing me to learn from you and being able to have a friend who has so much wisdom about life to share with a person with a thirst for life and knowledge. You need to realize how important you are to your students and the world. Never think one person can't make a difference, because I have seen it in my own life as you being my teacher. You can be one person, but you have made such a difference in my life that will never or could never be forgotten or taken away. I ask myself why I was so lucky to know you, but the only answer I can come up with is that my life was meant to learn from yours. I hope you never lose your skill of being a great teacher. You students want to hear and learn from your experiences that have taught you and made you the person you are today. I hear teachers ask the question, have I made a difference? I will answer your question for all the students who want to tell you but cannot find the words. Yes, yes, you have made a difference in my life and in so many others.
This concludes our graduation ceremony for this evening. We thank you for coming. Please remain in your seats until the graduates have left the auditorium, and please drive safely.